I don't know why they called me Mr. Only. Maybe because I always seemed to be alone. I never really minded. I got used to the silence, the sound of my own thoughts bouncing around my head. But that changed the night I decided to drive home from college, alone. The drive was supposed to be a simple 4-hour trip, mostly through rural back roads. I had made the journey a few times before, but this time felt different. I left just after sunset, hoping to reach home before midnight. My beaten-up sedan wheezed as it started. I loaded up the essentials, snacks, water, and a playlist of my favorite songs. The first hour went smoothly. The sun dipped below the horizon, and I flicked on my headlights, letting the music fill the silence. I was in my own little bubble, cruising down the nearly empty highway. The world outside shrank into a narrow tunnel of light. I felt at ease, almost hypnotized by the hum of the engine and the rhythmic thump of the tires. Then, out of nowhere, a thick fog rolled in. At first, it was just a few wisps, but within minutes it had thickened into an impenetrable wall. My high beams reflected off the mist, creating a blinding white glare. I slowed down, squinting into the haze, my heart beginning to race. The road signs and landmarks disappeared, swallowed up by the fog. I turned off my music, suddenly uneasy with the silence. The road seemed to stretch on forever. I felt like I was driving in circles, passing the same stretch of trees over and over. I checked the time, 10:30 p.m. I should have been halfway home, but something felt wrong. My phone had no signal, and the GPS wasn't working, just static. A chill ran down my spine. Then I saw it, something moving in the fog. At first, I thought it was a deer, but as it drew closer, I realized it was a person, a man, standing in the middle of the road, wearing dark, tattered clothes. I slammed on the brakes, my heart pounding. The car skidded to a stop, the tires screeching. The man didn't move. He just stood there, staring through the fog. I couldn't see his face clearly, just a vague shape, but I could feel his eyes on me, watching, waiting. I rolled down my window a crack. "Are you okay?" I called out, my voice trembling. No response. "Do you need help?" I tried again. The man took a step toward the car, his movements slow and deliberate. Panic surged through me. I reached for my phone, but it was still dead. I was alone, completely alone. Then he smiled. A wide, unnatural grin stretched across his face, his teeth sharp and jagged. My heart leaped into my throat. I threw the car into reverse and slammed on the gas. The man didn't chase me. He just stood there, smiling as I sped away into the fog. I drove blindly, my hands shaking. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being followed. After what felt like an eternity, I saw a faint light up ahead, a gas station. Relief washed over me. I pulled into the lot and parked. The station looked abandoned. No cars, no people, just a dim light flickering above the entrance. But I needed to get out, to feel solid ground beneath my feet. I got out and made my way to the door. It creaked open. Inside was dark, the shelves empty, a thick layer of dust covering everything. I called out, "Hello? Anyone here?" Silence. Then I saw them. Photos pinned to the walls, hundreds of them. Pictures of people, all with the same terrified expression. And in every photo, behind them, was the man from the road, his smile wider, more grotesque. My stomach churned. I backed away, my heart hammering. I needed to get out. I turned to leave, but the door slammed shut. I was trapped. Then I heard it, a low, guttural whisper. My name. Only. I turned slowly. And there he was, standing at the far end of the room, his eyes locked onto mine, that horrible smile stretching across his face. "You're not going anywhere?" he whispered. I felt a surge of terror. He took a step toward me. I grabbed a heavy flashlight and swung it wildly. The man vanished. I ran to the door, threw it open, and stumbled into the night. The fog had lifted slightly. I jumped in the car and sped away. I didn't know where I was going, I just knew I had to get away. But as the fog began to lift, I saw him again in the distance, standing in the middle of the road, waiting, smiling. I knew then I would never make it home. I was trapped in this nightmare, always alone, always Mr. Only, and he was still there, watching, waiting, forever smiling.